This is Strictly Business, presented by the Greater Bakersfield Chamber of Commerce. Sponsored in part by the law offices of Young Wooldridge, San Joaquin Community Hospital.
Good morning and welcome to Strictly Business for Monday, May the 11th, 2015. I'm Nathan Ollie, the Manager of Government Affairs for the Greater Bakersfield Chamber of Commerce. And on today's show, we will have Kristen Barnes. Kristen is the President and CEO of the Kern Community Foundation, as well as Rachel Evie, Coordinator of Development and Donor Services at the Kern Community Foundation. And they're here to explain a new partnership that has been developed to help local nonprofits here in Bakersfield. And then we'll have Anna Coliti, Private Wealth Advisor from Lincoln Financial Advisors Corporation. Anna will be here to explain what hidden pitfalls you should look for when preparing for your retirement. But first, let's take a quick look at some business news that you can use this morning. City officials have proposed a new budget plan. The Californian reports that Bakersfield officials have unveiled a preliminary $576 million budget for the 2015-2016 fiscal year. The new budget calls for no additional employees and largely status quo levels of service. Staff cited a drop in revenue from depressed oil prices and rising employee health care and pension costs as a reason for the conservative budget. City departments will give individual budget presentations at future City Council meetings through the end of June, and that's when the City Council is expected to adopt the budget for the new fiscal year. In water news, the State Water Board has issued some new rules on water conservation. These rules apply to both businesses and residents and order each city to slash water use from anywhere from 8 to 36%, depending on how much water their customers used in 2014. Water agencies in Bakersfield must slash water usage by the maximum 36%. Cities are also limited on how much they can water on public property. Local water agencies also face mandatory water saving targets, and homeowners statewide are encouraged to let their lawns die. In other water news, spray parks will happen for north of the river residents. Despite the drought concerns, the Californian reports that North of the River Recreation and Park District announced it opened 7 of its spray parks for the summer this past weekend. The move came last week after the district received the okay from 2 of the 3 water agencies that supply its water, as long as the district finds other ways to reduce its water usage by the maximum mandated 36%. Both water agencies say they will watch closely the district's water usage. In state news, California's population has grown by 1%, that according to the State Department of Finance. The DOF reported that California grew by 1% in 2014, adding 358,000 new Californians. The fastest growing city in the state, right here in Kern County, is Taft, grew at a rate of 6.3%. The opening of a correctional facility bumped Taft's population to 9,500. San Joaquin County was the fastest growing county, adding about 11,000 people. In other positive California news, tourism spending has hit a record number, that according to a new report from Visit California, which found that 251 million people traveled to the Golden State in 2014, spending a record $117.5 billion. That's up from $109.6 billion in just 2013. The report also found that travelers helped support 1 million jobs and generated $9.3 billion in state and local tax revenues in 2014, up 30% from just 2013. In other news, the Labor Department has unveiled proposed overtime pay rules. Reuters reported that the Labor Department's new rules would overhaul overtime pay for salaried U.S. workers. The proposed rules could make low-level supervisors in retail, fast food, healthcare, and other industries eligible for overtime pay. The proposed rules come after President Obama issued an executive order to review overtime rules nationwide. The Labor Department will seek public comment on the proposed rules soon. Back in California, a new study indicates that a number of low-wage workers in California is growing. This study from UC Berkeley found that a third of the state's employed workers are, quote, low wage, which means they earn less than $13.63 an hour. The proportion of low-wage workers is also on the rise, jumping to 33% between the years 2000 and 2014. The study also found that low-wage workers tend to be younger, less likely to have high school diplomas and college degrees, as well as be Hispanic. And finally, consumers spent more on mom this year. Mother's Day was yesterday, and the National Retail Federation reports that consumers plan to shell out nearly $173 each for mom on Mother's Day. That's the highest amount in the survey's 12-year history. Total spending was expected to top $21 billion for the holiday, and the top gift predicted by the survey was flowers. And I hope my mom wasn't listening to the $173 average. That's a quick look at some of the business news making headlines today. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back after this with more Strictly Business. Stick around.